I find it very interesting seeing as how I'm talking about a film that takes place in virtual reality, and I'm wearing a virtual reality t-shirt on, so kind of silly when you think about it, but also kind of funny. Ready Player One. Oh, no, wait, we're talking about the movie, never mind. So Ready Player One is the new film directed by Steven Spielberg and based upon the novel of the same name by Ernest Cline. Which, to be honest, I'd never even heard of the book before. But as soon as this was announced, all the trailers coming out and whatnot, it's only then that I started doing the research on the film. But either way, I have not read the book whatsoever, so going into this and seeing only the trailers that have all the iconic characters that are in this film that are very familiar with us if we know geek culture, it's kind of the basics of hooking people into something. I mean, this is like the big pop cultural reference you could get within one movie. But what is the premise? In the year 2045, much of humanity escapes their regular, boring reality and dives right into this virtual world known as the Oasis. And what is the Oasis? Pretty much, kinda, sort of imagine VR chat if VR chat was more refined and contained less of those Ugandan knuckles that are inside that world. But the creator of the Oasis dies, but in the end winds up leaving a little message telling people win the challenges and find the Easter egg that I hid within the game. It's there that everybody is after the keys as well as trying to be the victorious one to find the Easter egg. And trust me when I say this, everybody's after it. All the goods, all the bads, even the big bad corporation. But essentially, whoever wins the contest and finds all the keys will have full ownership of the Oasis. It's a dog-eat-dog world inside the virtual world of Oasis. Who will stand tall? Who will be victorious? Who will be the king of the hill of having an Easter egg? So what I like about the movie is, honestly, despite not reading a lot of this, I do like a lot of the jabs at pop culture. Like I said, there's a lot of characters that make their appearances. I sort of would say, like, think about, like, this being a modernized Roger Rabbit. I know it's a little odd to say that, especially seeing as how this is a film about virtual reality and all of geek culture, both old and new. But really think about it, because you got a lot of these IPs that make their appearance in the movie. You got the DeLorean from Back to the Future, you got the Gundam from the Gundam franchise, you got Kanida's bike from Akira. Now, I know many people call it Akira, but before then I called it Akira. There's the Iron Giant from the film of the same name. Then there's Tracer from Overwatch. And the list could just go on. There are so many IPs they put into this movie that it really... You think about it for a few minutes, this is like the Roger Rabbit of virtual reality. All these IPs coming together and being on screen. It's like any, like, person's wet dream to see, like, I don't know, like, Tracer interacting with, let's just say, Master Chief from Halo. Another thing is that the way the future of 2045 looks in this movie, that'd be the day I would see that year. I can imagine every, like, trailer stacked upon each other and all that. Never mind. But I like how the sets look, and I also like the design of the Oasis. It definitely gives it that futuristic feel. I mean, The odd one I never thought would be in there is, like I said before, the trailers stacked upon each other and that being considered homes. I mean, we don't see any others in the films, but we do see, it's just that we see like a bunch of trailers just stacked upon each other serving as their homes for the lower wage middle class people. But it's still good either way, just seeing just how well crafted all of it is. And like in general, like the good like cultural jabs and everything, and even the music selection I really like. But then again, this film was directed by Steven Spielberg, aka one of the best directors known of all time, who shut down what I would say is Carl's Jr.'s like little joke that they thought up to dedicated for the premiere of the film, which I'm not kidding when I say that. There was one moment where Carl's Jr. was promoting the quote-unquote Spielberger, and as soon as that ad came out or whatever, Spielberg just went up on Twitter and posted a video just telling Carl's Jr. not to do it. It's like, that is so hilarious. Another thing is that I hope with this film, generations will be introduced to much more older music. I mean, they definitely play a lot of selection of like 80s and rarely 70s, like ones I'm familiar with is like I heard Bee Gees was Staying Alive, which I'm surprised not many people know that one. But then there's also Take On Me and lots of other songs in there that are kind of hard to name. But still, pretty much the positives are the choice they have for the characters, the set designs. The Oasis is pretty well executed in what the virtual reality world looks like. And in general, he did a good job of making that world look amazing. As well as what they chose for the music selection. That's also a plus. For a negative, well, I'm not sure what I would consider to be a negative thing with this movie. It's kind of hard to say what to point out as the thing I didn't like. But in general, I would say that in a rare chance, and this being Spielberg, there's not really much I could say that I found bad about the movie. Like, really, nothing bad from the movie whatsoever. I'm not kidding when I say that. But what does that leave the outcome and everything? Now, seeing as how I have never read the book, I may do it later on for all we know, but again, I have to consider. Actually, I may not read the book, I may just get the little thing from Audible and just be good. Anything can go. But if the book's completely different from what is shown within this movie, then it's a guarantee that they definitely added more elements from like the more IPs like Iron Giant, Overwatch, and Halo. So that's a big difference there. But really, with that in mind, if I ever do get around to getting the book and or audiobook from Audible, I may just read or take a listen to it to see what the difference are. Or just look up a list of the differences between the books and the film, see what got lost in translation. But with that in mind, what do I think about the Oasis? In general, this film is very awesome. Like, everything in this movie just works precisely. That anybody who's interested to see what this film's like, and they know some of these IPs, like they know King Kong and Jurassic Park and E.T. and Overwatch, they'll definitely have a blast with this one. It's almost 2.5 minute long runtime. Definitely makes it worth it, but is still enough for a storytelling aspect, despite cramming everything you could think of into this movie. In recommendation, Spielberg did a wonderful job. Everything in the movie is awesome. Not really much for negative sides I could talk about. And I guess the final rating would be that Ready Player One is worth watching and worth buying on Blu-ray. So I'd better find a way to play these video games right now after this review. Well, thankfully I do have a copy of Overwatch right here, so I may play that one a bit later. So, Ready Player One, have you seen it? What'd you think about it? And with the case of this film being based upon a book and being adapted by Spielberg, which, in your opinion, is your personal favorite book-to-movie adaptation? Whatever your thoughts are, comment below and let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, just wait until the end slate if you want to see more. And with that in mind, I'm the Probe Guy, and I'll see you guys for the next video game, I guess. I don't know. I'm just going to start this up right now.